Alright, in this tutorial we're going to continue on from importing a project from Inventor into Vcarve Pro. And what I did in the last tutorial is basically just got rid of some lines, and we're just going to get rid of the rest of the lines here. So I'm going to click on this line here and I'm going to hit delete. Oh, there's another one still there now. When I click on this one, you can see how it highlights the next line or the rest of the line. And if I hit delete, it all goes. So I need to break that line. So I'm going to click on it. I'm going to right mouse click and I'm going to go to basically node editing mode. I'm going to zoom in here really close, and you can see all the way in. I'm going to click on this last one, right mouse click. I'm going to go cut vector. And what that does basically is breaks it. So I click somewhere else now, and I hit this. Oops, let me hit escape first. Now I click that. Now you can see it only selects that bit of a line. I can delete it. So we need to just do this over here as well. So I'm going to zoom out kind of in here. Zoom into this guy, click it. Oh, you can see it highlights. So right mouse click, node editing. Go all the way in with a zoom, with a scroll button, right mouse click, cut vector, zoom out, hit escape, click on the line, hit delete. Oh, you can hit delete. Oh, there's two of them there. Okay, and come up here, and I'm just holding the scroll button. No, we'll just zoom out there first. There we go. So click on it, delete that one, click on, you can see it does the same thing. Right mouse click. Where are we going? We're going to node editing mode, and then we're going to zoom all the way in here. And last one I got to do. So cut vector, zoom out, okay, hit escape, and then click on that line and delete. Okay, now the next part is I got to join them. See how these are individual parts? Okay, so what we do is we just highlight, hold the shift key down, and I'm just going to select them all. Okay, like this. And I'm going to come over here, and this is called the join open vectors. So I'm going to click on it, and it says how many closed. You have to have one closed oval here, so it's not. They're all open. The tolerance, don't worry about here. Vector after joining, one closed one. That's very important. And then we go join. Now when I click on it, it's all one part. Okay, so let's start setting up for some toolpaths. Click on the hole that we're going to do. Toolpaths over here. There's different ones. There's a profile which does the outside of something, and then there's what's called a pocket, which is the in one. Okay, and then there's a drill one here. Okay, so we're going to click on the drilling one, and the cut depth is 0.75. You've got the drill bit. Basically, we're going to select and use a end mill at 0.25. Okay, and I'm actually going to, no, we're not going to use a drill bit. I'm sorry. Hang on a second. We're just going to close this off. Okay, we're going to go back here, and we're going to use just a pocketing tool. So I apologize for that. So pocketing tool, 0, cut depth, we want to go 0.75. End mill, we got to go to select to make sure it says end mill 0.25. Click on OK. It says number of passes. We just keep coming down here. This cut direction should be climb. We'll explain that at a later date. Ramp plunge moves basically means just, when you cut into it, does it slowly go in? We do that and we go calculate. Okay, so now we get to this screen here. I'm going to hit this isometric view so you can see this. I'm going to zoom in a bit. Okay, so we're right about here right now, and I'm going to go back to the toolpaths, and I got the speed set slower, and I'm going to play this and watch what happens. See how it kind of goes in and then it cuts all the way through. Okay, so there's my first cut path, and you can see down here it's called a pocket. Right, we're going to close this off. Go back up to 2D view. Now we're going to click on the outside one and go toolpaths. And this time we want a profile one, which is going to cut the outside shape out. And in here, once again, 0.75, end mill 0.25, outside, inside, or on the line. We want to go outside the line. Okay, direction is climb again. We'll talk about tabs afterwards. And basically, we're going to add ramps. So basically, it's going to smooth in over 2 inches to start cutting. And then we hit calculate. Okay, now we have this. So we go back to toolpaths. And I'm going to reset it so we have nothing now. Okay, and I'm just going to speed this up by 1. And we're going to hit play. And now you can see that's cutting out that outside shape. Okay, and it'll go around, and they're basically done. Okay, now the problem is that if I look at this, okay, what's going to happen is it's going to fall off. As soon as I cut all the way through, this piece is going to go flying. Okay, so we need to add these little tabs. So I'm going to go back to toolpaths, and then go back to this view here. Okay, I'm going to click on close. And this pocket, this is the profile, that's the last one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click it and get back into it. So down here we're going to go to tabs. So add tabs to toolpath. Okay, we're going to add 1/4 inch tabs. I'm going to put these 0.1 thick. Okay, matter of fact, we're going to add 1/2 inch tabs. So we're going to put 0.5 1/4 thick. And what we're going to do is go edit tabs. Now, how many tabs? All depends on how big the project is and things. So I think I'm going to get away with probably 1, 2, 3, 4 tabs. So I'm going to click on 4, go add tabs. You can see that they've been placed around. If you want to move them because you just don't like where they are, you can just basically click on it and move it to where you want. So I'm going to click these and go there and there, and here and here. And the reason I put them there is because at the end there's going to be no meat left over, so we just kind of want to hold it in place. Okay, doesn't really matter, but just got to think about this a little bit. Okay, we'll go back to here, and then we've added our tabs. We hit close, and then we have to recalculate. So you go click on recalculate, and I'm just going to reset this. And this time around, and I'm just going to go back to, oh no, we can just put it over here. Okay, there we go. Whoops, it just disappeared. So I'll put it over here, zoom in a bit, and what's going to happen here is back to my toolpath. I'm going to preview all the toolpaths. So watch what happens now. So it's going to do the inside one first, then it's going to do the outside one, and you can see it coming around and around. And then finally, on the last pass, you're going to see what it does is it adds little tabs. Okay, so if I was to hold this up now, you can see that there's 4 tabs in there that hold the material in. Okay, so we're pretty much ready to go. So the last part of this tutorial would be you click close, and then in this case we're going to click on both of these toolpaths because we want them, and we're going to go save. And output all visible toolpaths to one file. Yes, because it's going to use the same drill bit or the same end mill bit, so we can do this all at once. Down here, post processor, we would find the CWI processor. That's the name of the machine. Okay, and then you just click on toolpaths, and then you go save it to a USB drive. So if I had the USB drive plugged in, then what I would do is basically just find down at the bottom here, I go find my D drive and I would save it. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to save it to my woodworking file here and call it cutting board and click save, so I have my toolpath done. And that completes basically getting from Inventor all the way out to Vcarve to CNC route out your project. And we will continue by doing a visual demo on the actual machine.